Hello, thank you so much for joining this video tutorial. This is lesson 7, UFT, data-driven testing for beginners. In this lesson, we'll build our first automation script, then execute. After that, we'll just analyze the test result. Today's lesson is divided into 10 parts. Part 1 will review the manual test cases. Part 2 will understand the flow of user actions. Part 3 will create a blank GUI test and add it to the solution. Part 4 will add the actions to the test. Part 5 will review the test flow. Part 6, 7, 8 will exit. We will automate the actions. Part 9 will run the test. Part 10, we will analyze the test result. So before we continue, I like to bring up the framework design where we are now using the diagram here. So today we are building this piece, this script, and this object repository. We will not be doing anything with the test data. So let us do the script part and the object repository part that will be working today. Okay, so let me go back to this outline here. So what is the first part? Review the manual test case. So what I'm going to do, this is the traceability matrix that we wrote before. And in this matrix, we have listed few requirements. This is the one we'll be working on today. Requirement 1. System shall allow registered users to register an account, test case ID, and we'll be automating this test scenario. System shall allow users to register an account using valid data. Next is the test case. What test case did we write here? We navigated the application as we wrote the test case in one of the earliest lessons. We will not navigate the application today. So as you can see, in order to complete registration, first user needs to be able to open the browser, open the application in a browser, and step 2 to 7, complete the registration, and step 8 to 9, click sign off and close the browser. I color coded because each color coded section, we can call it as a test component / user action. So now that I understand the steps, I reviewed the steps, what is the next thing to do would be to understand the flow of user actions. So the flow is very simple. This is the flow. Open the Mercury, complete the registration, exit the Mercury. So I gave a name. You can give any name you like. So open Mercury, job is to open the application. In test case, step 1 is for open Mercury. And for open Mercury register, step 2 to 7 of the test case are the steps for this action. And exit Mercury, in our test case, step 8 to 9 are the steps for exiting application. Open Mercury, we don't need data, that's why I said no. And it is reusable. We'll not talk about reusable yet. Let's skip this for now. And the Mercury register, yes, we need test data. Exit Mercury, we do not need any test data, so I said no. So again, we understand the flow of the user actions. Now that we understand it, let us move on to the next part. Create a blank new GUI test and add it to the solution. We already created a solution. If I zoom it, you can see that's our solution. At this point, this is blank. And we need to add the registration test under that. So if I show you in a diagram, at this point, we only have a blank. Let's say, assume that we don't even have it. Let me just, at this point, the solution looks just like that, blank. So what are you going to do? We are just going to create this registration container test, registration test. Inside this test, we will be adding these 3 actions. That's what we'll be doing now. So before that, first step is to add the registration test, this box. This is the box we'll be creating now. So if I go back to there, you can see it's blank right now. In order to add a blank test, just select it and then click, or you can just select it and right click, add. When I say add, right click, add new test. And I'm going to give a name, Mercury registration, and then click OK. Test by name is already okay. For right now, let's say Mercury underscore registration. Okay, so you can see that's my test. At this point, we just added a test. This is my test, and by default, it adds a blank action. Blank action, which is this. So let me go step by step. We created a blank test and add it to the solution. If I go to the diagram, that means that we already had the solution right here. We added a blank registration test. And then next thing to do would be add the actions to the test. So we'll have to add the actions. So if I go back there, again, one action is already added by default. We just want to make sure that we have these 3 actions in the same order. So what are you going to do? Go back to UFT. You can tell one is already added. Right click. Okay, let me go slow. Right click, click rename. And we know that first one we like to give a name, call Open Mercury. Press enter and click yes, we like to. Open Mercury is done. So what do you have to do now? Select it, add 2 more. Right click, add, call to new action. And this one we like to give a name, Mercury register. And then click OK. So what we did? We did 2. Now it's the third one. And we know third one name is Exit Mercury. So that's my Exit Mercury. Click OK. As you can see, I added 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's save it. Click Save. Again, go back to our document. We don't want it to jump ahead. So add the actions to the GUI test, we add it. So that means that we added these blank actions in this registration test. Next thing to do is review the test flow. That means that when we run this test, which order of the actions it will execute. So that means that if I double click, let me zoom and you can see, double click the registration test, Mercury underscore register, and you will see it shows flow. That means that if I execute this test, Open Mercury, this is the order of the execution. The Open Mercury will be executed first, Mercury registration second, Exit Mercury third. So now that I understand the flow of the execution, what do I do next? Part 6, I need to automate first action. It says by recording. That's great. Okay, let's do the part 6. So what do I have to do? Before I automate, again, I like to keep the test case handy. You can see from this table, open Mercury action in manual test case, step 1. So I need to know what is my step 1. And step 1 shows here, just launch the browser. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the URL. Just copy the URL, and then I like to open UFT, and let me zoom it, double click, open Mercury. Right here, this is the one we need to automate. Once I double click, and from here I know that this action job is to launch the application. So let's hard code at Chrome for now. So I wanted to launch it in Chrome and then paste it. So what I did, I automated open Mercury action, which job is to launch the application in Chrome browser. So what is next? Next is I like to go to part 7. Automate Mercury register action. Again, I like to see what are the steps. The steps are here. Step 2 to 7. So I need to go to my test case, see what are the step 2 to 7. And 2 to 7 are click register link, enter username, enter password, enter the same password, click the submit button, validate the thank you page. So now that I understand the steps, so what I have to do next, Mercury register, double click that, as you can see blank, so I'm going to automate. So I'll just click this record button right here. So let's first, before I do anything, I like to first bring the application up manually and then start recording. So click the record button, click OK, and then based on the test case, I need to click register link and then enter username, enter password, enter confirm password. You can see these are 3 things I entered, 3 fields data while I'm on the recording mode. Let me zoom it back. As click submit button, zoom it again, submit button you can see right here. So once I click submit button, and this is the thank you page. We can insert a checkpoint to validate this message displayed. Let me leave this as homework for you. I would like you to update this action and insert a standard checkpoint to ensure that this message is displayed. So that part I'm not doing that. So what do I do next? I guess I'm done. Click stop and then save it. Let me delete this. So what I did, automated Mercury register action by recording. Last action to automate is exit Mercury. Again, I like to know what are the steps. As you can see, step 8 to 9. Now, if I go back to my test case, I like to understand step 8 and 9. Click sign off link, close the browser. So I'm going to go back to UFT, and you can see that's my exit Mercury. Double click that, blank. So we need to automate this. And we know steps. Steps are simply click the sign off link, close the browser. That's my sign off. Let me zoom it. This is my sign off link right here. We're just going to click the sign off. Once I click sign off, and then I like to close the browser And then as I close the browser, UFT should add another step. I do not see it. So what I'm going to do is that I add another step myself. So I said close. So what I did, automated the exit marker reaction. So let us go back to our document. You can see I automated this action. So it's time to run the test. So before I run the test, again, let's review the code first so we understand the code. Let's zoom it first, open Marconi. What it's doing, launching the application in Chrome browser, open Marconi. Marconi register action, job is to simply click the register link, enter username. It should be username. It shows email. Maybe source code has email. You can ignore that. This is username field, and that's password field. Confirm password. Click register. What about exit Marconi? Let's select it. It has two steps: clicking the sign off and close the browser. Great. So it's ready to. We're just going to run the script now. So during runtime, what will happen? So I guess we need to see the flow. Marconi register, you can see if you go there. So that's the Marconi register test, that registration that I selected. Double click that shows the flow. When I run it, open Marconi, action will be executed first. Open Marconi register will be executed second. Exit Marconi will be executed third. So, and diagram also shows here something. You can see open Marconi first, Marconi register second, exit Marconi will be the third. So let us not talk anymore, just run the script. Okay, this is the run button that I'm going to click. Run button right here. Click run. So open the application, completing registration, done. So it was fast, good. What is next? What I did, I just ran the test which completed a registration. Part 10, analyze the test result. This is the test result was generated. And then this is the test result was generated. Let us expand it. This tutorial is for data driven. So I am more interested in the steps that involves test data. So these are the steps. This is username field. You can see username AA, and then same as what we have on the script. And then this is password, same as what we have on the script. Confirm password, same as what we have on the script. So in this is a building a script with hard-coded data and analyze the results. We have done that. So now if I run the script again, it will be using the same test data again. It doesn't matter how many times I run the script, each time it will be using the same test data. What we want to do, we want to remove this test data and then point to a data source that is located in a separate place. So that would be our ultimate goal. So I guess there's one more thing I'd like to show you. In one of the previous lessons, we did configure UFT to automatically export the test results in a specified directory. So our test results should be another place. Right here. This is the test results. So you can see test results also showing here. So that's our iteration done. I will not go over every step, but most important step that we need to see is the test data. Right here, test data, which is, you can see the same data that is stored within the script. Well, this is it for today. Well, before I actually say goodbye for this lesson, so what we did today, as I mentioned, we needed to build this piece and the object repository. So we have built this script and the object repository. We have not done anything with the test data. And the object repository is, if you like to see, you can see Mercury register, and right here, Mercury register, select it, and then go to resources, object repository, and you can see object repositories are here. Objects are added. So let me click this. There's a sign up, the sign up object. And you can see right here, that's the sign up object. And if we wanted to see the Mercury register objects, and then you can say here, right here, and those are the objects for the Mercury register. Well, finally, we are done with this lesson. So again, we build this piece and this piece right here. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you liked it. In the next lesson, we will build our next automation, second automation test script, same way we did it today. Thank you again for watching it. I hope to see you in the next lesson. Take care.